When looking at the equations and the values of lines, one of the most important things we need to be able to do is calculate slope. Slope is a measure of the rate of change of an equation. When we look at slope, there are four different categories it can fall into. It can have a positive slope, can have a negative slope, it can have zero slope, and it can have what's called an undefined slope. When we have the graph of a line, often the simplest way to calculate slope is to measure the rise over the run. So if we take 2 points, we begin at 1 point and we count the rise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over the run, 1, 2, 3, 4. The slope of this line would be 5/4. Likewise, if we begin here, our slope would be down 1, 2 points, -2, and then we would run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -2/7. If you remember from one of our previous videos, we talked about the words hoi and vux. Remember, hoi stood for horizontal lines have zero slope, and vertical lines have undefined slope. But notice we can calculate the same thing by counting. Our rise here from this point to this point is 0. We don't go up at all. So our rise is 0 over, and then our run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But 0 over 6 is 0. Likewise, for a vertical line, our rise in this case is 1, 2, 3, 4. But our run is 0, and we know that a fraction with a denominator of 0 is undefined, so this would be an undefined slope. Notice here the equations for these lines would be y equals, and in this case y equals 1, 2, 3. And in this case x equals, and x equals -3 would be our equations of the lines. Sometimes we're given 2 points with which we need to calculate the slope. The formula when we're given 2 points is that the slope, represented by m, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for example, if we have -4, -3, and 2, -5, doesn't matter which one you call x1, y1, and x2, y2. But here, if I calculate and I make this x1, y1, x2, y2, when I substitute in, I have -5 minus a -3 over 2 minus a -4. These become plus a positive. And when I calculate that, I get -2 over 6, which leads to -1/3. And if I were to plot those points, -4, -3, and 2, -5, if I connect those with a line and then measure my slope, I'm going down 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which simplifies to -1/3.